if you ask a horror fan or just a horror fan in general that started, getting into horror for like one day, they'll automatically assume that Friday the 13th, all the movies have Jason in them, the one with the hockey mask, which is just kind of like a test to prove them that if they actually like horror, and they're gonna get it wrong because no, yes, I'm as surprised as you are to find out that Friday the 13th one does not have Jason in it. At least him with the hockey mask and all that. Just him as a child drowning. And yeah, this movie I remember watching it on Miramax when I had what dish cable, and I thought I was like, oh my god, it's a movie, it's so scary. And then I actually watched the movie. I was 6, so you could tell that by my face that I wasn't terrified when I first saw the film. The whole time, like, sorry if this is gonna take like a long time, but the whole time, I was scared of Jason. I was scared of the franchise just because of Jason. But no, turns out the first movie was boring. I'm sorry to say it, but it's boring. Just because it's Friday the 13th one doesn't mean that the first one will always be good. Annabelle 1 wasn't good, but Annabelle Creation was good. And then Annabelle Comes Home, somewhere in between. The Nun 1 wasn't good, but I hope The Nun 2 is good. I'm just kidding. I actually have no hope for The Nun 2, despite what I said in the comments in the movie. Yeah, go check it out. But yeah, Friday the 13th was a reason. The whole reason why I grew up with Friday the 13th was because I felt the first sense of bravery when I first watched the film. And then I felt a sense of dread after trying to riz up a girl in second grade, and then she ruined my entire self-esteem when she said I kind of looked like Jason from like the first film as a kid. So yeah, thank you, Caitlin, for destroying my self-esteem. Anyway, back to scary film. Yeah, this first film wasn't as I expected it to be. At least when I saw it when I was 6 years old. And I rewatched it again just today. And yeah, the movie is actually kind of boring in my opinion. Like the only good part about the movie is somewhere at the is like just like at the end part. Like the first movie is just Pamela stabbing people, like shanking people with a knife. And that's it. Like for a series known for creative kills, the first one is just stab in the gut. I mean, there's that one cool kill with Kevin Bacon whenever he gets stabbed through the throat by an arrow. And that's all I can say about this film. It has Kevin Bacon getting killed by getting an arrow through his throat by Pamela Voorhees. Also, yeah, I'll say I agree with James from Dead Meat. Pamela getting down the bed trying to do that kill was like the image in my head is just kind of funny, like thinking about it. So anyway, yeah, back to boring slasher film. And another funny thing about the film, actually no, just a funny thing about the film. The final girl and Pamela have a square on in the cabin, and then the girl, I don't know what her name was. I just don't pay attention to movies that I feel that are boring. I slept like 30 minutes in the film, where like she kicks Pamela Voorhees in the crotch, and then she's like, oh, like wait, Pamela's a he, huh? So yeah, I think Pamela Voorhees like acting is all right in this film. Like she is pretty good, but she wasn't the Pamela Voorhees from the Friday the 13th video game of like Jason killed them for mother, Yeah, but yeah, basically this movie is boring, but it does start one of the most iconic horror franchises, if not just one of the most iconic franchises of all time. It doesn't have any Jason in it, only until the end where it turns out it's a dream, and it's just like, so that means he exists. Did not expect. I was like, this is actually quite a solid film. But then Jason comes out, he's like, so he's still alive. I'm like, so that's how it went down. That's how it went down from Jason being from camp to New York to space to rebooted. Yeah, thanks a lot, Friday the 13th Part 1. You're boring. The only creative kill was with Kevin Bacon. And you didn't need to be a franchise, but you did it anyway. Gold medal for you. 4 out of 10. This is all I can give this movie. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, to some of you horror fans saying, actually, Friday the 13th Part 1 is the best. Nah, listen, not every movie, you can depict it any way you want. But this film has a boring beginning, a somewhat climactic climax, and an alright middle. Mostly the alright middle comes from the Kevin Bacon arrow kill, but still. This movie, I could not sit through because it was boring. Right? I hope the second one isn't as boring enough. I mean, it's the one with like the redneck outfit Jason or something. I don't know. So yeah, see you next time. I guess I don't know.